Each year, 70,000 people are hospitalized from noroviruses and around 800 people die from the virus.
Now, a new norovirus from Australia has made its way to the U.S. and is being blamed for a record number of cases that health experts have seen during this winter. WVUA's Jennifer Edwards has more on the virus in tonight's top story.
Despite the increased number of norovirus cases reported in the United States, Nursing Director Dr. Pamela Moody with the Alabama Department of Public Health says there's no reason to panic.
It was noted to be the most common norovirus discovered last month. It's just a new strain. It's not any more serious than the other norovirus.
According to Moody, a norovirus is what many refer to as a stomach bug.
Symptoms are basically your gastrointestinal symptoms of nausea, vomiting, diarrhea.
And Moody says as of right now, Alabama residents are in the clear.
We presently do not have any reports of any outbreaks in Alabama. Although this could change at any time, at this time we have no outbreaks.
Moody says although there's no reason to panic, the virus is very contagious.
It can be found on inanimate objects, such as like the coffee pot, doorknobs, any surface. So you want to be very cautious. Wash your hands very often during the day. I would highly recommend that you clean surfaces before you touch them. In the workplace, especially out in public.
According to Moody, there is no treatment for the norovirus, but with plenty of rest, fluids, and good nutrition, the virus should clear up in 2 days. Reporting in Tuscaloosa County, Jennifer Edwards, WVUA News.
And Dr. Moody says if you do become sick and your symptoms don't clear up after 48 hours or you become dehydrated, you should consult your doctor immediately.
And now a look at your weather. Parts of our viewing area may be under a risk for severe weather tonight.
Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott is monitoring that situation and has the latest. Richard.
Hey, Philip and Lynn, yeah, we're okay right now. No severe weather issues to talk about this hour, even though it's very warm and mild, kind of unstable, that feeling outside. 74 in Tuscaloosa, 73 in Montgomery. That will be changing, I think, later tonight. And here's our big troublemaker. Big storm systems just now starting to develop to our west. We're going to watch active severe weather break out over parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. That's happening now. That's going to move our way late tonight and early tomorrow morning. So here's what we're talking about, the time frame and the threats. We're talking 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. over the western side of the state. Damaging winds, the main concern, which will be widespread. 60 to 80 mile per hour gusts are possible. We'll talk more about this, plus we'll look at the 7-day planner. That's coming up in weather, so stick around.
Thank you, Richard. And because of the threat of severe weather, Bibb County Schools and Hale County Schools have announced they will delay the start of class by 3 hours tomorrow morning. Pickens County Schools have announced faculty will report at 9 a.m., students will report at 10 a.m. In Greene County, the Head Start there will start at 9. Fayette, Lamar, Bibb, Tuscaloosa, and Hale County Head Starts will all begin at 10 a.m. The University of Alabama's Ferguson Center will be open all night for students and employees who want shelter on campus until the severe weather clears our area. Officials say they will notify students and employees no later than 5 a.m. if classes or operations should be delayed.
And meteorologists aren't the only ones keeping a close eye on the skies. So are insurance companies. For example, State Farm Insurance says it already has staff on standby. State Farm says one way to ease the filing process is to make sure you have all your papers together and to update your list of property on a regular basis. They say it's just a good idea to be ready for bad weather all year long.
We accumulate more and more as we go throughout life, and so it's a good idea to work with your insurance agent and constantly update your policy to make sure that you have enough coverage if an unfortunate event such as a tornado occurs.
And he also tells us always be aware of exactly what's covered in your policy.
On your election watch, a local lawmaker announces he's setting his sights on a higher office. Republican State Representative John Merrill is running for Alabama Secretary of State. Merrill made that announcement this morning in Tuscaloosa. He's currently representing District 62, which includes Tuscaloosa. Merrill is the former communications director for the Tuscaloosa County Schools and currently works as branch manager for First Federal Bank. He served as a state representative since November of 2010. Merrill says he believes his experiences make him qualified for this office.
I knew that this was something that if I didn't step up and offer myself in this leadership capacity, somebody else was going to. And then in 4 years or 8 years, I was going to look back at that seat and I was going to say, I could have done that job better with more of a commitment to helping families and helping businesses and helping ensure the integrity and the security of our elections than that individual.
Incumbent Secretary of State Beth Chapman is serving her second term and by law cannot run in 2014. A new Iron Bowl is about to take shape here in Alabama.
But this time it's not football. Instead, it's a hovercraft. A hovercraft is a vehicle that can ride on land and water. The University of Alabama's engineering students have formed a hovercraft racing team. Hover Club of America is getting ready to host the first University Hover Bowl Challenge in March. The race will take place at Lurleen State Park, and that's where Alabama and Auburn will face off. There will also be other hovercraft teams from all around the U.S. The challenge is set for March the 16th at Lake Lurleen State Park.
A look now at what's making headlines across the nation. President Obama unveiled a new immigration policy.
The president says his reform plan includes smarter enforcement, a pathway to earn citizenship, and improvements in the legal immigration system aimed at helping it to become a magnet for the brightest from all around the world. Mr. Obama says that for the first time in many years, Republicans and Democrats seem ready to tackle the problem together.
And in Washington, the Senate has confirmed Massachusetts Senator John Kerry as the next Secretary of State. 69-year-old Kerry is a decorated Vietnam veteran and a 2004 Democratic presidential candidate. Kerry will succeed Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton, who's stepping down. In Colorado, new developments in the JonBenet Ramsey case.
Several jurors in the case say they voted to indict her parents in 1999. 16-year-old JonBenet Ramsey was found dead in the basement of her parents' home Christmas of 1996. Despite the grand jury's recommendation, the district attorney did not file charges and refused to sign the indictment in 1999. He says there was not enough evidence to prosecute the case. The Ramsey's attorney said this would impact the family for generations.
Important for the public to recognize that the real blockbuster news was the DNA evidence found on this child's body, on her clothing, that clearly is the DNA of the killer, and perhaps hopefully one day we'll get a DNA hit and the killer will be brought to justice.
It's also important to note that back in 2008, I should say, DNA evidence cleared JonBenet Ramsey's parents of any wrongdoing. Now, you're looking live. There it is from the WVUA Tower Cam. Right now it is calm all across Tuscaloosa, but that could change later on tonight. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott has your complete home team forecast next.